Hey there gang, what's up and welcome back to another video on streaming stars. True love finds its way, no matter how far away you live. If destiny has meant the two of you to meet, there's nothing in this whole wide world that could ever stop you. The strangest of interactions lead to relationships that last forever. And speaking of hard-found love, we'll be talking about how Prince Harry and actress Meghan Markle ended up in a royal bond of marriage, one that is destined to last a lifetime. But as usual, before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of more engaging content in the future. Alright, let's get rolling. If you look into the past personalities of the two, you'll get to see a huge difference. Meghan, on one hand, really fancied the idea of being in the spotlight, as being an actor required her to do so. But Harry, on the other hand, blamed the paparazzi for the sorrowful demise of his mother in the 1996 car crash. Thereafter, Harry made a policy of not making any appearances in tabloids and magazines. Looking at the relationship this way, the couple was not entirely meant to find each other in the exact same spot, because they normally would socialize differently according to their preferences. But if fate was meant for the two of you to meet, there's nothing anyone can do to stop you. Harry and Meghan met each other through a mutual friend of theirs at a blind date. The friend was actually much closer to Meghan than Harry. In fact, many of you who follow fashion updates might even know of her work. The friend who arranged the blind date was Misha Nunu, who has a brand of ready-to-wear clothing line for women. Misha was born in Bahrain, but later went to London and Paris to continue her education before moving to the United States of America. The story of Misha and Meghan's meeting is delightful too. The two of them were also introduced by a mutual friend of theirs, which only goes to show you how important of a role friends play in expanding your social circle. They were seated right next to each other at a luncheon, which led the two of them instantly bonding with one another. As Misha recalls, the two of them got along like a house on fire, and with Misha's connections, she was acquainted with Prince Harry too. And because she knew the two of them were single back then, she wasted no time in matching the two of them up. Meghan and Harry have had other relationships in their past too, but considering Meghan's role in the media industry, she was normally prone to getting many more features in tabloids than the privacy-seeking Harry. Meghan was once wedlocked with Corey Vitiello before she started dating Harry, but their relationship was long over before the royal couple went on a blind date. Prince Harry wasn't a saint either, as he dated other girls as well, two of which included Chelsea Davy and Cressida Bonas. Coming to the part where the two of them actually met with one another, Misha Nunu arranged the two of them to meet at Dean Street Townhouse in London. However, this wasn't actually the first time the two of them met. Reports suggest that the two had already interacted in Canada, but not much took place over there. Meghan was in Canada shooting for the drama series Suits, which she had been a part of, while Harry was there to launch the 2017 Invictus Games. This story goes to show you that no matter how far you are apart from one another, love will always find a way. Next, coming to the first impressions part, Harry has been a bit more vocal about how impressed he was with the way Meghan looked. As he stated, "I was beautifully surprised when I walked into the room and saw her, and since both of them liked each other on the get-go, they were already put in place in the right direction." But Meghan's beauty was not the only thing that made Harry fall in love with her. In fact, the part that fascinated Harry the most was where she would stand up for herself. Some people have even compared Meghan's staunch resilience to that of Diana's, which happens to be a major contributing factor in Harry's liking for Meghan. He has commended Meghan for it several times, and after the two of them got official, he's explicitly spoken to the press about how standing up for themselves is something Harry wishes to see in his partner. Therefore, it's not just Meghan's look that got Harry smitten, but her overall personality and charisma is what made Harry fall head over heels for her. A fun fact about their relationship is that Harry and Meghan didn't make it public for almost half a year, and they thought it best to experiment the entire thing first. They wanted to get along with each other before things got leaked to the press, who then might have affected their possible dating life. Looking at the dates precisely, Meghan and Harry went on a blind date in early July of 2016, but their relationship was not all over the news until 2017 came along. This really gave them some time to understand each other, and with that, they were able to make a bond that was unaffected by what the media thought of them. Furthermore, Harry and Meghan happen to be of the same age group, but not exactly the same age. Meghan is said to be 3 years older than Harry, but both of them are currently in their 30s. The fact that this happened is somewhat alarming, but some people, including tabloids out there, speculated problems existing in the relationship due to Meghan's older age. Regardless of what people thought, Harry and Meghan were completely in terms with it, and this hasn't affected their relationship in the slightest. Everything that we have seen about Meghan and Harry's relationship might end up giving the impression that their relationship has had no bumps at all. While that can happen sometime in the future, there have been reports that point to the fact that Harry and Meghan had taken a break with each other for some time. Now, the authenticity of those reports is highly doubted, but since they were not making any social appearances for the time being, a possible fallout between the two was being discussed frankly. Things seemed quite normal after the 6-week break ended, and since it's long past now, there's pretty much no need to have a full-depth analysis of it. Fast forwarding their dating life to their marriage, the events that happened to succeed them tying the knot were very interesting. Firstly, their marriage happened to be a huge spectacle, with reports suggesting that around 1.9 billion people tuned in to watch their wedding happen live. That amount is humongous for any wedding, even compared to the other royal weddings that took place within England and the rest of the existing monarchies of the world. The guests attending were not short in number either, with the Queen of Great Britain attending the wedding among the 600 physical guests that were invited. A surprising fact about the viewership of Harry and Meghan's wedding was that it beat his elder brother's wedding screenings, who was merely able to grab around 23 million people. Considering the overwhelming interest of the public, many tabloids made their relationship their first priority. This led to the two of them to get face-to-face with the paparazzi, but there was little they could have actually done. Meghan thereafter started being portrayed in a rude manner. And if a comparison was to be made between how the media treated Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle, you'd get to see a huge difference, where Meghan was always portrayed doing something wrong, while Kate, on the other hand, was on the right side of the aisle. One interesting thing to note about their post-marriage is that despite being the Dutch and Duchess of Sussex, both Harry and Meghan don't perform their duties of the royal family. And considering the fact that they've recently had their son Archie, allocating time between their duties and responsibilities has become somewhat of a struggle. Despite the juggle, the two of them are always successful in presenting a unified front as a couple. Soon after their recent shift from the United Kingdom, they've been trying to establish their lives on their own. This sort of points to Meghan's resemblance with Princess Diana, who also thought it best to live a life worth remembering and not just according to the books. Therefore, it could be said that such an action, if it was to be propagated by Meghan, would never bother Harry at all. In fact, it would only make him prouder of his wife. Lastly, comparing the couple to the ones that came before it leads us to some very noteworthy distinctions. William and Kate met at the University of St. Andrews, which the two had been attending for studies. Kate hailed from a wealthy family of multi-millionaires who also had close ties to the British aristocracy. On the other hand, despite the fact that Meghan was herself a self-made multi-millionaire, her family history is not comparable to Kate. Meghan's family has even been in squabbles after her royal marriage, where her father continuously complains about Meghan ghosting him. Secondly, she happens to be a biracial woman in a family of monarchs who would powder their faces with substances to make them seem more white, despite the fact that their natural color has been generally fair. This has led to the royal family introducing their first ever biracial member, Archie, who appears to have a much different appearance than the rest of the royal family. The differences Meghan has had with the normal folk of the royal British family might be a reason why the press forcefully makes her stand out from the rest. But as long as Harry is in love with his wife, the relationship itself has nothing to worry about. In conclusion, all anyone could say is that you can find love in the strangest of places. It doesn't need to be stereotypical in order for it to be romantic. Take the example of how Meghan and Harry met each other and how well their relationship has been proceeding. One could only talk about the importance of believing in each other. Meghan and Harry's story inspires a lot of people out there, and this is why people love reading about them. This brings us to the end of our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, do let us know by liking the video, subscribing to our channel, and hitting the bell icon to be notified of more juicy content in the future. We'll be seeing you in another video real soon. Until then, take care and goodbye.